Long before history was carved into stone, long before the first words were etched into clay tablets, there lived a king whose name was spoken only in whispers. He was a ruler so powerful, so transformative, that people eventually stopped calling him a man and began calling him a god. His story begins in an age of utter chaos. Kingdoms were shattered fragments of their former glory. Tribes, fueled by ancient hatreds, clashed in endless, bloody conflict. Hunger was a constant companion, and fear was the air everyone breathed. It was into this broken world that he was born. From his earliest days, it was clear he was different. While others roared with fury, he listened. While others charged headfirst into battle, he planned. He saw what no one else could, a path to unity. He brought together warriors who had been sworn enemies for generations, not through force, but through a vision of a shared future. He showed them that their common enemy was not each other, but the chaos that consumed them all. When he finally ascended to the throne, it was as if the world itself breathed a sigh of relief. Peace, a concept once thought impossible, followed in his wake. Under his rule, the barren fields became fertile again, and crops grew in abundance. Trade routes that had been closed for a lifetime reopened, bringing new goods and new ideas. He commissioned roads that connected the fractured lands, and with them, he built a system of justice that was fair and unyielding. The people, who had known nothing but suffering, looked at their new lives and saw a miracle. They didn't just respect him, they revered him. Surely, they thought, the gods themselves had sent this man to save them. This belief began to ripple through the kingdom. Soon, the priests, who were the voice of the divine, started to change their sermons. The old prayer, "May the gods protect the king," slowly transformed. Now, they proclaimed, "The king is chosen by the gods." Then, it shifted again, "The king is with the gods." Subtle at first, the changes became more overt. In the grand temples, his statues began to appear, placed not at the feet of the gods, but beside them, as an equal. Children in the villages learned new prayers, and his name was woven into the sacred verses. At first, the king resisted this deification. He was a man of the people, a soldier, a strategist. He knew his own mortality. But praise, when it is constant and universal, is a slow and subtle poison. Year after year, the whispers of his divinity grew louder, and he began to listen. He started to believe it. He declared his bloodline sacred, a lineage not of men, but of gods. He proclaimed that his rule, like the heavens, would be eternal. The atmosphere of reverence curdled into one of fear. Those who dared to question his divine status, who whispered that he was still just a man, simply disappeared. Faith had become a weapon, and loyalty was now enforced by terror. Then, the world he had built began to crumble. A devastating drought swept across the land. The once bountiful fields turned to dust. The people, desperate, flocked to the temples. They didn't pray to the old gods anymore. They begged their king, their living God, to make it rain. He could offer them no relief. Next, a terrible disease spread through the cities. The sick and the dying cried out for his divine intervention, for a miraculous cure. He could do nothing. The king, the god, was powerless, and he was getting old. His hands, which once held a sword with unshakable strength, now trembled. His commanding voice became a weak, shallow breath. A god was not supposed to grow old. A god was not supposed to falter. When he finally died, the illusion shattered completely. Panic and chaos, the very things he had once conquered, returned with a vengeance. His death proved the ultimate lie. The temples dedicated to him were closed, his statues torn down and smashed to pieces. Scribes were ordered to erase his name from every record, to scrub his memory from history, hoping to hide the collective shame of their delusion. His name is lost to time, but the lesson of his story remains, a silent echo through the ages. Power can build an empire. It can forge peace from chaos. It can even convince a man that he is divine. But in the end, death is the great equalizer, the final, undeniable reminder that even the mightiest of kings is, and always will be, only human. Thanks for watching. If you found this story thought-provoking, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more tales from the forgotten corners of history. See you next time.